I could ask you all to silence cell phones, and I know nobody has a pager anymore. They always say cell phones and paging and stuff.
Give me a 5 countdown.
We'll be starting in just a few minutes.
A few seconds. All right. All right. Thank you. We're live. We're ready to go. All right. Let me get started. All right. Thank you, everybody. If you can all have a seat, we're about to get started. We are being live streamed via YouTube, thanks to our Arcadia's Apache News crew. So I just wanted to welcome everybody here at First Avenue Middle School who can be with us, and those of you who are watching on the live stream or who will be watching this recording. We want to welcome you to the 2022 Arcadia Unified School Board Candidates Forum. My name is Kevin Fox, and I'm honored to be the president of Arcadia Unified School District as one of 3 co-sponsors of tonight's event, along with AEF and our PTA, Council PTA. I always get that wrong. So we want to thank our 3 organizations for their hard work in getting this event together. It is an unusual time, as we've been living for the last 2 years, and tonight is no exception. We have some technical difficulties. We've invited all 3 of our candidates to join us this evening. Ms. Chavez could be with us. Fenton Eng is unable to be with us in person, but he is here with us on a Google Meet, which is linked in with the stream, so he'll be out regular. And the 3rd candidate, Mr. Zhang, was not able to attend. He informed us of that this afternoon. So he chose not to be remote or in presence to that place. So again, we want to thank Arcadia Unified School District, the staff here at First Avenue Middle School, Dr. Isa, for your hospitality. We want to remind everybody that we're trying to model for our students civility and great public discourse. So we ask for everybody to be well behaved. We know our candidates will be exceptional. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our moderators tonight. We have 2. I'll let you introduce yourselves, and we'll just go ahead and get started.
Good evening. I'm Ray Bushell, and I'm here with the Arcadia Educational Foundation. Very excited to be part of this forum. I've been involved with the Arcadia Educational Foundation for some time now. I had a daughter through Arcadia Schools, and I'm happy to be part of this process. Thank you. And Brianna, co-moderator.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brianna Hoy. I'm the other co-moderator, and I currently serve as AUSD president at Arcadia High School. I'm a current senior, and next year I will be attending USC for college. So I'm very excited to be here, and I can't wait to get this started.
With no further ado, let's go ahead and get going.
All right, so our first question is for Mrs. Chavez. Please introduce yourself and tell us why you're running for a position on the AUSD governing board.
Thanks, Brianna. I'm just going to apologize to the recording and to the audience. You're going to see the side of my head at one point or another. I'm going to do my best to talk to both. But good evening, and I am Lee Chavez, and I have the honor of currently serving as president of our Arcadia Board of Education. I'm running for this office because I'm experienced, I am qualified, and I am a big proponent of public education and the opportunities that it creates. Strong public schools are really critical in our society. They knit our community together, and they give our students a chance to learn and grow, and it gives them the tools to choose their future. It's crucial that Arcadia schools stay excellent and innovative. And I have found a common thread in our town. Lots of people move to Arcadia so their kids can attend our schools. I know I did. Our family really values education, and we wanted our sons to be able to benefit from the renowned school district here in Arcadia. So we moved in 2000. And ever since, I've been actively involved as a leader in both our schools and our community. My experience and preparation give me perspective regarding all levels of education in our district. And that working knowledge, coupled with my familiarity with the laws and mandates that govern public education and how it's funded, make me competent to serve. But my genuine relationships with AUSD personnel, and more importantly with Arcadia families, make me an effective school board member. Back in 2017, I ran for the Arcadia board because AUSD provided my sons with the foundation and the opportunity that allowed them to compete and succeed at the next level at Harvard and Princeton, and now to thrive in their careers. Prior, school boards worked really hard to give my sons and their friends that opportunity and experience. And so I'm honored to serve now on our board and give back to that AUSD community. Because my goal is that all students are engaged learners and that they're provided the tools and the skills to reach their highest potential. The school board's priorities really need to stay squarely focused on fostering a safe and healthy environment for our students, for our families, so that we can improve learning outcomes for all, and I mean all students. I'm running for re-election, one, to continue my work in support of academics and mental well-being for our students. And I'm running for re-election because I am passionate about sustaining and improving the quality of Arcadia schools for the children of today and the children of tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ng, would you introduce yourself and tell us why you're running?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Bushnell. First off, I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I've recently been tested positive for COVID-19, quarantining myself. I'm Fenton Ng. I'm currently the vice president of the school board. I'm also, like most Arcadia residents, a parent who came to Arcadia seeking the best for their children. Both my children are graduates of Arcadia High School, and I'm grateful for all they've gained from their education in this great community. My family has benefited from Arcadia Unified School District, and my service to this district is my way of giving back. I'm running for re-election because I intend to continue offering an excellent education for all the students of Arcadia, and all means all. We have a wide range of students with varying goals and aspirations, and we intend to get them all there. The district's purpose is to challenge and inspire students to make a positive and profound impact on our world. And that's just not some well-crafted marketing statement. We believe collectively that we can help our children make a difference in this world. We have put into place programs and policies that have and will continue to keep Arcadia as one of the top school districts in the country, to keep Arcadia as the best place to raise children. We are one of the most innovative school districts in the country, constantly seeking and implementing better ways to learn. There's more to be done, and I would like to see that through. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Chavez, would you please tell us about your personal and or professional experiences and what prepares you to serve on Arcadia's school board?
Sorry, sprinkling again. So my volunteer experience involves years of leading 501c3 nonprofit corporations like our PTSAs, the Arcadia Music Club, the Arcadia Assistance League, and their teen auxiliary, Arcadia Assist Teams. These are positions that rely on the ability to manage effectively, but they also involve motivating and inviting people in, getting people excited about volunteering, supporting a cause, and working together. They require creativity and flexibility, and I think what's most important for me is they all center on benefiting children in our community. My professional experience is in hospitality management, customer service training, and human resources. And along with my degree in psychology with a focus on child development, that colors all the leadership positions that I've held. And it translates to efficiency, proactive and extensive planning, accurate and conservative budgeting. I have an inclusive and collaborative work style, and I have a drive to consistently learn and improve. My experience on the Arcadia Board of Education, my familiarity with our district, my master's in governance training which Fenton shares, and my long-term relationships with teachers, staff, families in our community make me an effective leader. But I think first and foremost, I'm a parent of Arcadia graduates. And that personal experience of raising children, that shepherding, the coaching, the teaching, the advocating for, the cheering on, the disciplining, the supporting, the comforting, and the loving of my sons, that parenting experience, that ability to put others' needs ahead of my own, that's part of who I am, and it's part of what makes me a good school board member. And it's a trait that I share with all of our current school board members. It allows for a really full and long-term perspective and true empathy with the families that are going through our system now. I've got a great appreciation for the work and the tradition of excellence in Arcadia Unified. I'm really honored to have been part of that tradition, thanks to our community's trust in me and allowing me this first term. I'm qualified, I'm experienced, I work collaboratively, I do listen to our community, and I weigh and balance the interests of our many stakeholders. I demand fiscal responsibility. And these are things that make me a good fit for this role. But most importantly, I'm a public servant, and I always center my decisions on the success and well-being of our students.
Well, it's okay.
We're still having technical difficulties.
All right, Mr. Eng, please tell us how your personal and/or professional experience prepares you to serve on the AUSD board.
Sure, thank you, Brianna. A large part of my career, well, actually, I've had two careers in many ways. The first half was where my career has been in the field of advertising and marketing. I owned and operated an advertising agency in New York City. I managed accounts with large corporations for 2 decades. The skills I gained from being a leader and operating in one of the most competitive fields translate well into any organization. I'm probably more well known at this moment as a Kung Fu instructor here in Arcadia. And I've taught hundreds of students in this community, including students. I now currently teach in an after-school program at 5 elementary school campuses, including Camino Grove, Holly Avenue, Highland Oaks, Hugo Reed, and Baldwin Stocker. So I'm in touch with our students on a daily basis. Shortly before 9/11, I moved to Arcadia over 20 years ago. And I soon decided to check out of the corporate world and become more of a community-minded person. It was important for me to be involved in the lives of my children. So I coached Little League Baseball at Arcadia National Little League for 7 years. By the way, my daughter and her friends won the Tournament of Champions in 2007. In 2003, we founded and chartered Boy Scout Troop 111 at Arcadia. My son was one of the founding scouts. The troop is still in operation today. I'm an elder at my church. I also became involved in PTA, which is the nation's largest advocacy group for children. I began holding chair positions at Camino Grove Elementary School. I later became the very rare male PTA president at Dana Middle School. And then I became the even rarer male PTA president at Arcadia High School for 2 terms. The next obvious progression was to serve on the school board. The Arcadia School Board has a tradition and legacy of its members being heavily involved in the lives of children. I have specific skills in management, working with others, communicating well, and understanding fiscal responsibility. But the most important factor to being on this school board is care. Care for the welfare and education of our children, and care for our community. We have the responsibility of building a better future.
All right, the next question is for Mrs. Chavez. What is the single best or greatest thing about AUSD, and why do you think that's the case? And what would you do to make sure that it is true in 5 years?
Thanks. That's easy. It's the people. And it's also the fact that AUSD is a values-centered and purpose-driven organization, and it's all about students. I found the phrasing in this question a little bit interesting because it asks what I personally can do to ensure this is true in 5 years. So as an individual, I can continue to hold true to those values and the purpose. And that means I continue to imagine what our school district can be, how we can better serve our students, to inquire, to ask the hard questions when we're faced with making decisions and looking at different options, and to try to inspire our students to be leaders and true to themselves as they choose their paths for the future. And as we set the direction for the district, really, however, you have to think about this. Education is a team sport. It's not about the individual. This is about being guided by our values, to collaborate, to think critically, to offer empathy, and to learn from failure and be creative. Because the people in AUSD are committed and caring, and this is evidenced in our Better Together survey data that we do. Our teachers scored off the charts in their dedication and care for our students. They blew over and recorded in that way because we always come back to why are we here and what are we doing this for? And it is students. And we say that in departments that aren't student facing, like accounting and payroll. And we invite those folks to walk our campuses and reconnect with the reason we do our jobs. And it's because we keep students at the center, because of that care and commitment, and because we instill the Arcadia way in the folks that join us. Our new hires get a full week of training. Not just about on-the-job training, but what is important in Arcadia. And it is because of this, because we are bigger than something that's just ourselves. We are part of a mission. And as long as we can keep true to that purpose of, challenging and inspiring our students to make that positive and profound impact on their world, you should keep sharing that message with our partners, our parents, our students. And as long as we stay true to that, all the decisions fall in place because they're in support of those things. And the student well-being and academic success will follow. And so I won't make it true. It's the fact that we all work together with those values in mind. That's what will make that true. And our people stay consistent.
Okay. What is the single best or greatest thing about AUSD? Why do you think that's the case? And what would you do to make sure that that's true in 5 years?
My answer is not very different from Mrs. Chavez's answer. It's the people. The greatest thing about Arcadia Unified School District are its people. It's people and their passion. A lot of it starts in our homes. Our families value what is done out on campuses. They want what is best for their children. It's the reason we all live in the city. Our PTA is stronger in Arcadia than anywhere else. The parents that are involved in a very significant way, beyond just collection of dues. We have teachers that are caring individuals. caring individuals that give their best in providing an excellent education to each and every student. They go above and beyond their job descriptions, and they certainly proved that during this pandemic. We have administrators that make decisions that ask first, what's best for our kids? Our classified employees, from custodians to food services, bus drivers, are all part of this culture that we built. We're witnessing something very rare and quite unique in this school district. You know, a culture of caring, all unifying us all. We're a destination district. Passionate and caring people will continue to come to Arcadia, and that should continue, certainly if this pandemic continues to wane. We will continue to hire the best. We have support groups like PTA, AEF, and a long list of others that must remain strong. If we maintain all these elements, we will still be at the forefront of education for many years to come. And I'm a firm believer.
Okay, Mr. Drink, thank you. And we're going to continue with you. We've all heard the motto, "A better together." Mr. Drink, what does better together mean to you? And what would you do to make that more of a reality?
More of reality. The answer to this question is really just an extension of the previous answer. In my experience, when separate individuals are bound together in unity over a common cause, great things happen. And that's what happens here. And we just need to continue that. You know, I previously mentioned that we as families, teachers, administrators, and staff, moving towards a common goal, this is what makes it all work. This is that perfect algorithm that we see here, along with other organizations. As mentioned before, PTA, AEF, Music Club, the Athletic Booster Club, the Chinese Parents Booster Club, the Arcadia Performing Arts Foundation, on and on. We have so many people supporting us to make this all happen and make this great. We even have other community organizations that aren't necessarily attached to the school district, like the Masons, Rotary Club, the Lions, and many more that I can't come up with off the top of my head. I've witnessed massive efforts from all these organizations centered around what is going to be the best for our kids. What an amazing community. We just need to keep this going. There isn't a special magic pill or something different or any change that needs to be made. We've got it. And let's just keep going.
All right, so Mrs. Chavez, what does better together mean to you? And what would you do to make that more of a reality?
So yeah, you're going to start to see that Fenton and I echo each other a lot. We work closely together and we hold a lot of the same beliefs. But better together is meaningful partnership. It means working together, sharing ideas. It means listening to each other. I think it's been challenging, and it's a really important focus as we come back to on-campus learning this year. It means supporting one another. You know, we have this saying in Arcadia, hard on issues, soft on people. It means giving space and grace without losing sight of accountability. Better together means student leadership. It means student connection and ownership of their campuses. It means all our students feel valued. I wanted to share, I saw something today that sort of exemplifies better together. I got to attend a ribbon cutting at Rancho Learning Center. And I'm going to read this so I get it right. For a Wildlife Federation certified wildlife habitat. And it's a small piece of land that was created by our students with the support and help of their families. And it's a project that started during the pandemic and has now come to fruition as they're back. It involved a lot of staff and a lot of different departments. And now they have this wonderful space on their campus with native plants. They learned about native gardening, water conservation, environmental issues, wildlife, cooperative planning, project development. But all the folks that had to work together to make that a reality is a great example of better together. And then they are leaving a legacy for others. For me as a board member, better together means that we support the organic collaboration of our students and staff. It means finding new ways of supporting the parent involvement, which is incredible in our district. Supporting parent education, because we're not just about student education, we are about families, and it's about inviting people in. Arcadia really does believe that better together matters, and everybody's input is important. So that's I think better together is.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ng, what, in your opinion, is the greatest challenge facing AUSD in the years ahead, and how do you propose to address it?
There are a number of challenges. One challenge that keeps coming up is the one on the social and emotional well-being of our students. It's easy to see headlines or pick up some quip on social media about the concerns for students on mental health. However, our teachers are the ones that are on the front line. They've seen this already. They've picked up on this well before we reopened our campuses. We've been addressing the need of this in advance, well before the pandemic. Our staff has been trained in a number of programs, including restorative practices. Building or rebuilding community is vital. Our students and teachers spend hours together, and in some cases, more in-person time than with their families. We're promoting practices to share each other's concerns, needs, to learn more about each other, creating a more tightly knit community. This will also offer the ability to care and be empathetic to each other. The classroom as family, that's what we're looking at. A healthy environment is a good learning environment. Our teachers are at the forefront, at the front line when it comes to identifying emotional issues. And we're equipping them with the tools and techniques to help our students. And we're making advances, but it's going to continue to be a work in progress. But this is certainly one of the concerns, and we're definitely dealing with that. Another challenge we have is declining enrollment. It's been an ongoing problem in all school districts, including ours. Lower student counts, of course, means reduced funding, which also means reduced staff. We currently solved our problem by incentivizing teachers with early retirement, which was very helpful. A great solution. However, the long-term solution is really to maintain or increase enrollment. As mentioned earlier, we are a destination district. We're hopeful with the waning of the pandemic, many students will return. We also see the opportunity for students outside of district seeking a better alternative, and we may be that better option. So as long as we maintain our level of excellence, we're confident students will continue to come. Those are two of our challenges.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. For Mrs. Chavez, what, in your opinion, is the greatest challenge facing AUSD in the years ahead, and how do you propose to address it?
Thanks. I'm going to echo Fenton's sentiment. Well-being of our students is paramount, and we are fortunate. I had a great conversation with an elementary level counselor this week just about the myriad ways that we support families and how kids are identified for extra support at that level. And all of the community organizations that we partner with for families that may need additional support. Arcadia is unique in that we do have full-time counselors at the elementary level, and that was in place before the pandemic. It's one of my proudest moments as a board member, was authorizing that to happen, because I think it shows true investment in our students' well-being at every level, right? And it's quite impactful. We're giving tools to kids earlier on about, you do have emotions, how do you work with them and handle them? How are we constructive citizens and leaders? And so that's really important, because having a safe environment and having behavioral and emotional supports in place allow kids to focus on academics. I also see the greatest challenge, in addition to the wellness piece, is twofold, and financial is the first piece of it. Declining enrollment is part, and Fenton went over that really well. So I'm going to kind of skip through some of my answer, because even though we did not collaborate on this, we have much of the same information. Declining enrollment is important. We did address it this year by incentivizing early retirement. And it was a wonderful way to recognize the contributions of the staff that have given us so much and allow us to right-size our district so that we have the appropriate amount of staff for enrollment next year, and we did not have to lay off any teachers. We've got to live within our means. We don't have a choice about that. And so we have to be really efficient and very directed with our dollars. One thing we do need to be sure we're doing is, like Fenton said, recruiting and keeping the students that are in Arcadia. We need to do a really good job of letting folks know who work in Arcadia that their students are welcome to attend our schools. And in addition to that, we are also burdened financially with unfunded mandates from the state. Schools are required to provide services and programs often that are not fully reimbursed or fully funded, but we still have to do them. And so one of the ways that I address that is I lobby very consistently with our legislators about pension relief, better base funding, and not giving us more to do without the dollars that support those things. I also believe our challenge is to continue to build community. And part of that is building back after being away. We're leaders in tonight too. It was mentioned at the beginning, modeling civil discourse, right? Education needs to focus on what brings us together, not what separates us. And some of the things that we're doing with students around that are the wonderful Leader in Me program, which sets the stage for students, teaching habits like think win-win. Think first to understand before you are understood. We have our entire staff trained in restorative practices and community building. I have been fortunate to see community building circles used at every level at all our campuses. We've got great programs for students that connect each other, like Web at the middle school level, Link Crew, SMW, Lighthouse teams in the elementary level, student government, countless clubs and ways for kids to give back and participate. We also support community building in our staff with swag groups and collaboration days. We bring in the community for things like our WASC accreditation at the high school, site councils at schools, oversight committees. All these things play a role, right? And I also think that leadership matters. I do believe that it starts at the top, and that we are very fortunate to have a board that is professional and supportive and interacts very well together. And we're really lucky to have a district full of people that also model that. So being leaders in civil discourse, helping our students become good citizens, that is another challenge. Thanks.
Okay, excellent all day tonight. I want to thank both of the candidates. We're going to allow each candidate now to have up to 3 minutes of just kind of anything that they want to kind of wrap up with, anything that you felt you didn't get a chance to say in the Q&A session. And we're going to start with Mr. Eng.
Thank you, Mr. Bushnell. Just wanted to first thank this community. I have had my time in Arcadia has been a wonderful experience because of what this community offers. And I appreciate the fact that the community has supported me throughout all the different activities I've been involved in, and especially as a board member. And I'm grateful that I'm still hearing the community would like to reelect me and continue as a board member. It gives me confidence that I really do care about this community. It shows, and that hopefully I can continue to do so. Remember, the election is on June 7th if you're not mailing in your ballots. And you're welcome to some of my promotional materials that I've left at the lobby of the auditorium. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Eng. Mrs. Chavez, you may go ahead and your 3 minutes begin now.
Gosh. First, I just want to say thank you to the folks who made time to be here tonight. And to everybody that's watching and will take the time to watch the recording later, I do want to recommend, there was a State of the District last night, and Apache News, being their amazing selves, also filmed that, and that is already on YouTube. And it covers countless departments and things that happened and are planning to happen in our district over the past couple of years and into the future. And so to get a really good picture of what's happening in AUSD, that is a great place to find out firsthand from the folks that make it happen. And we had wonderful presentations from our student rep to the board, as well as PTA last night. I wanted to also thank AEF, ATA, and Council PTA, and Brianna for being here. It's just another example of how folks in our district come together to do what's right, to give an opportunity for folks in our community to hear from candidates firsthand. I wish we were all present in some form, but I'm very grateful to this district. Nothing's ever perfect. There's work to be done. Nothing was absolutely perfect when my own kids were in school, but if you step back and look at it in aggregate, there are so many people working so hard to keep this district amazing, excellent, and at the forefront of technology, of making sure our kids have what they need to step into the future and open their choices wide. And that's really what we're here for, to support our students, to launch them so that they can look to the future and make choices about where they want to go and where they want to succeed and make an impact. And that path is different for every student. And so we have to meet every student where they are. And I think Arcadia does a really good job of that. So again, thanks for your time. I think Fenton would probably echo me in this. Our emails are public on the district. We both have websites up for our campaigns. We are always happy to answer questions and hear from constituents, to take time to explain things, because I think we all know that the challenges and the issues around public education, they're not pat answers. These are very complex and nuanced things. And Fenton and I would take the time to share what we know and where the district is going and has thought about these things. So anyway, thank you and have a wonderful evening. And thank you all for supporting this event.
All right. I want to thank everybody for their participation tonight, our candidates. Thank you to our moderators. On behalf of ATA, AEF, and Council PTA, we want to thank you for being here. We want to let you know that there's some changes in our program. We would have normally have done an audience question session now, but we are going to postpone that section, and we hope to we anticipate rescheduling a spontaneous question and answer session. We'll get that word out to you soon, hopefully sometime next week. We will solicit questions from anyone who is here tonight if you have an opportunity to leave one, or you can also email in any questions you may wish to share with the candidates through Council PTA. So on behalf of our organizations, we'd like to thank everybody and wish you a good evening, and please don't forget to vote. All right, thank you.